This is Anthony at Vapehead, and I wanted to take just a couple of minutes to, or a minute or so, just to kind of talk about the battery I've got, because I have not really put in a whole lot of effort on talking about the battery. The battery I use is the Smok. It's a 1300 mAh battery, which they say will last you 13 hours, depending on your voltage. That's the catch. I've been getting usually about 10 hours out of this one, and that's running it from between 4.0 volts to 4.2 volts, which is 8 watts to 9 watts. I get about 10 hours, which is pretty good. That's pretty much an entire day. But they really do work very well. They're very sleek. It's the brushed aluminum look. It's got the nice deep well in it, so that when it screws down on when you screw your tank down on it, it's totally inside this, which helps to protect it. And of course, when you put your beauty ring on, then you have a secondary protection around this and your threading on your tank, which goes into your battery to cause the conduction for the atomizer to work. But it's the standard thing. You click it 3 times, or click it 5 times rather, to cut it on. You click it 5 times to cut it off. But I'll show you a little trick with the with this one. If you've looked at it and you have not bought one yet, and you're thinking, oh, I would really like to get me one of those, I'll give you a little quick rundown tip on how this thing works. Put my beauty ring back on, and then put my tank on real quick. There we go. Alright. Okay. Now, you got your little button here. Push it 5 times. That's off. It'll go red, white, blue. It shuts down. Do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Red, white, or red, blue, red, white, blue, and it's back on. Now, if you want to change your voltage setting, if you're wanting to change the voltage setting, which is right here, you can see the voltage setting line. Tells you which one you're on and all that good stuff. You press it 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and it'll light up white. Now you can change the voltage. You can turn this little wheel down here at the bottom, and you can change your voltage to whatever you want. When you get done, be sure to 1, 2, 3, and it'll light up blue. If you vape with it on white, it'll work, but it'll also damage your battery. So you want to make sure that you always 1, 2, 3, there's your white. You set your battery to whatever voltage you want. 1, 2, 3, and there's your blue, and you vape. But otherwise, like I said, I get about 10 hours out of this, even though they say that it's 13. And I'm sure you probably could get 13 out of it if you were running it on 4 and you only hit it about maybe once or twice an hour. 3 or 4 vapes once or twice an hour. You could probably get 13 hours out of it. But I hit it more than once or twice an hour. I usually do about 2 or 3 hits about every 10 to 15 minutes, so my battery does not last as long as what they say it will, which is normal. It's just like anything else. If they tell you that it's going to last you 24 hours, you'll be lucky if you get about 15 out of it. This, though, they say will last you 13 hours, and in a general purpose, you're going to get about 10 hours out of it. But it's still, 10 hours is a lot of time when you're vaping. If you're on a road trip and it takes you 9 hours and you charged this up before you left your driveway, you're going to have an hour of it left before you get to wherever you're going. So it pretty much, it will last a long road trip, or a very long whatever. But you can get some really good time out of this battery. So if you are thinking of getting the Smok, my suggestion, go right ahead. It's a great battery. It's got a lot of perks to it as far as how it works, how well it does. And it'll work with just about every kind of tank, as long as it's a 510 thread. This is a 510 thread battery. This is a 510 thread tank. So that's another thing that you've always got to make sure of, is that you always get your 510s. If you've got a 510 battery, you can only put a 510 tank on top of it. If you've got a 510 tank, you can only put a 510 battery under it. So you always got to make sure that whatever your tank is, that's what your battery is. Whatever your battery is, that's what your tank is. But the Smok 1300 mAh, excellent battery. Be sure to subscribe. If you want to leave a comment, go right ahead. If you've got any suggestions or any questions, I will do my best to answer them, or send you a link somewhere to answer your question. Just trying to help everybody out there. So just keep on vaping.